Right, welcome. Chances are, if you clicked on this video, you might be stuck in a similar position to where I was a couple years back, working a corporate job, wanting to have a great physique, look good with your top off, feel confident about how you show up outside of your work, and you are overstimulated by the amount of information that's available online. You feel like you're constantly needing to give up parts of your life to look a certain way. And you might have very strong beliefs that you need to have a perfectly clean diet, a diligent lifestyle where you're never doing anything wrong, you're never going out, you're never going for dinners. But that's not the case. I'm going to show you exactly how today. I'm going to be teaching you the rules of the game when it comes to nutrition and fitness. And this is all information that I've piled up over years of trial and error through my own experiences, having dealt with eating disorders, making myself throw up after eating chocolate, constantly going in this cycle of getting in shape then losing it all because I was sticking to something which was so strict because social media taught me that that was the only route, when that's not the case. I'm going to be teaching you the rules today. And with these rules, you're going to be able to take them and apply what matters to you in your life and build a system that is going to let you stay lean, have an athlete's physique the entire year without ever having to diet again. Now, this is broken down into 4 sections. Number 1 is going to be your foundations. These are your non-negotiables. They're mostly regarding your diet, and they're the things you're going to need to stick to for a consistent period of time across the year so you're able to enjoy yourself freely. Number 2 is the freedom and the protocols. Here, I will be discussing all the systems that I use with my clients to let them drop body fat, get lean, build an athlete's physique without giving up any of their social life, all the foods that they love. Then the last 2 are going to be training and recovery. So number 1, the foundations. You need to give your body what it needs before having what you want. Usually when people diet, they go through all of these symptoms: constant cravings, lack of energy, constantly getting sick because they're just not eating the right foods or eating too little, poor recovery, muscle loss, and poor sleep. Generally, it makes losing weight and staying lean a very mundane and uncomfortable process when it doesn't need to be like that. So, firstly, these are the 3 things that we need to focus on as our non-negotiables. They stay with us year round. What this is going to let us do is going to let us maintain a lean physique. It's going to let us also enjoy the food that we love, have a social life, but we need to make sure that these become part of our habits. And I'm going to teach you guys a little bit later on how you can effortlessly integrate this into your own life. Number 1, protein. So you guys have probably heard this before, but I'm going to reaffirm it again because it is super important. 2 grams per kilo of body weight. You don't need to overdo this. I see so many gym guys posting their macros, 300, 400 grams of protein when it's just unnecessary, and it's going to make your training miserable and it's going to make it a lot harder. And I'm going to explain why in a second. The reason why we want protein: number 1, satiety signaling. If you want to stay lean, you have to manage your appetite. The reason why you're constantly hungry is because you're not eating enough. You're not eating enough of the right things. Number 2 is muscle retention. This is super important. When we lose fat, we need to hold on to muscle. This is what's going to let us look good when we are lean. And it's also going to let us eat more food when we are leaner because we're holding more muscle mass, which means our metabolism is higher. And lastly, any big meal is going to have to be centered around a substantial protein source because this is our priority every day. Our bodies cannot store protein. The reason why we need to hit our protein target every day is our body constantly goes through this refinement process of breaking down old cells and making new ones. If you don't give your body the adequate protein intake that it needs, what it does is it breaks down existing muscle tissue. So you're losing muscle. So you can lose weight, but you're going to lose muscle and fat. When we lose weight, we want to just lose fat so we can look as best as we can when we are lean. Number 2 is fiber, 30 to 40 grams per day. And this can go higher depending on the person. What I mean by this is fiber slows down your digestion a lot. It increases your satiety, and you'll notice themes coming up here. What happens is when people start eating fiber, some people are used to higher numbers, some people are used to lower numbers. But the end goal is for you to feel full, for you to improve your gut health, for it to be easier for you to eat less food across the day and stay lean while still feeling just as full. The other bit is gut health. Gut health is super important, and fiber takes care of that holistically. Next, micronutrient and intake absorption. And lastly, anytime you're not exercising, prioritizing complex carbohydrates is the way to go. I see too many people pushing keto and demonizing carbs on social media when it doesn't need to be like that. Carbs are a main fuel source for our exercise. But what I mean by having complex carbohydrates when you're not exercising is we want to prioritize things that are going to keep you full, that are going to be good for your body, and are going to be nutrient dense. If we're not exercising, energy isn't the priority. It's us feeling full, giving our body what it needs, and helping us look good. Lastly, micronutrients. This simply eat as many colors of fruit and vegetables as possible. Eat a variety of foods, so different meats, carbs, and fats, focusing on whole and single ingredient foods. Whole and single ingredient foods are going to be the ones that are the most nutrient dense. That's why they are healthy, and that's why we want to prioritize them most of the time. This is also what's going to let us enjoy the meals out, enjoy the cheat meals, enjoy the drinks when we want to. But I'm going to bridge on that in a second. As a man, you owe your body enough fuel so you can train hard, progress, and still stay motivated. This is so important because who wants to lose weight and then feel like shit when they're training and they end up doing less of the thing that lets them stay lean and maintain a good physique year round? It doesn't make sense. So when you see these guys that are doing keto, they're doing low carb, they're just completely cutting food out, and then they feel miserable when they work out. They can't get a pump, they can't run, they can't train martial arts. Everything feels like shit because you're not giving your body enough fuel. The next is you owe it enough protein so you can rebuild and maintain. I've covered that previously, but I can't stress how important it is to give your body adequate protein, because muscle retention is so important for looking good when you are lean and making it easy to stay there. The next is the right food to stop unnecessary cravings and make staying lean effortless. So this bridges onto the micronutrients, onto the fiber. You want to make having this physique as easy as possible, and you can do that by giving your body the right things. Lastly is micronutrients. This is to keep your body healthy and efficient on a cellular level. Our bodies aren't just fat and muscle, right? It's way more complex than that. We don't need to dive into the details, but you need to give your body what it needs to look good. And this is one of the most ignored parts. It isn't just a calorie deficit to lose weight. You want to feel good whilst you lose that weight. The reason why so many people can't maintain a lean physique for long periods of time is because they neglect this side of things. Think of this as your body is a Ferrari, it's a sports car, it's something that you care about. You want it to look good and perform well. You keep topping up the fuel, but you ignore all the engine lights. You ignore the oil. What's going to happen? You're going to work for a period of time, but eventually there's no sustainability in that. Your Ferrari is going to break down. It's not going to be working well. You're not going to be looking after it. You think you're giving it what it needs to make it move, but you're actually ignoring all the things that make it function properly. When you follow these things consistently, you are way less likely to, one, snack and eat shit food. Yes, we can enjoy food every now and then and have a cheat meal, but part of the reason why so many people struggle to keep the weight off is because they're constantly picking up and snacking. They're letting the monkey brain take over. They're grabbing a handful of sweets here. They're grabbing crisps, sugary drinks, all this other bullshit that you don't need. And it's unnecessary. You don't actually enjoy it. You're doing it because you're craving dopamine. You're in a low dopamine state and you need something to satisfy that. These things are going to stop that happening, which directly impacts how much you eat and the kind of food that you eat, which lets you stay lean effortlessly. Number two, you're way more likely to train consistently because you actually enjoy it. You actually feel good. I'm going to bridge onto this point later because it's a point in of itself, but feeling good during training, especially when you are lean, is so important. What that's going to do is it's going to actually let you stay consistent with a workout routine, which is fundamental to you maintaining how you look. So many people fall off when they are lean because the training starts feeling like shit. If the training doesn't feel like shit anymore, you actually enjoy what you do, you've cracked the case. Because then it becomes so simple and easy to stick to the habits you know you need to stick to for a long period of time. Number three is you become way more conscious of other choices. You guys might have heard of the spillover effect or experienced it yourself. If you work out or eat clean, vice versa, you're way more likely to pair that with other good habits. So if you're sat at work and everyone else is going out to get some fast food for lunch, get something which you know is unhealthy, but you've worked out, you've kept a clean diet in the morning, you had good breakfast, or you've been really good with your diet for the entire week, you're way more likely to say no and either order something that's going to be way better for you, go to a restaurant that's going to be healthier for you, make smarter food choices wherever you do go, or entirely just make your own meal. because you care about that. You've got some sort of skin in the game. So naturally, you're gonna want to stick to that. You're gonna want to compound the good habits that you've already done and not ruin something by balancing out one positive with a negative. This one is super important. You are going to get rid of any guilt around treating yourself because you actually end up giving your body everything that it needs. Most of the time, when you go out, when you have a cheat meal, you go out for dinner, and you feel like it's going to ruin your progress. The reason why you feel like that is because you've not given your body the good things to let yourself also enjoy some of the bad things that we're allowed to enjoy. But you need to make sure that you have given it everything from a performance perspective to make sure that you are staying as consistent as possible with the good habits majority of the time, and to look and feel good. That's it. When you do all those things, you will notice when you go for that cheat meal, when you go for those drinks, you don't feel guilty because you look back at the past 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, however long you've been sticking to this and eventually when you stick to it for long periods of time, you'll never feel guilty because you know you've stayed so consistent that you've earned the right to have a little bit of something that you enjoy as well. From this, you're going to build a low stakes framework that supports you staying lean year round. Your appetite is managed, your performance is high. You don't get sick as often because you are eating a micronutrient rich diet, which makes your life so much more positive. You are way happier. People want to spend time with you. You want to spend time with people because you not only look good, but you feel good whilst you look good. Your recovery ends up being improved. And then most importantly, you have the room to have what you want as well. You have given your body what you need, what it needs, pardon me, to also have what you want as well. And noticing that little thing, this is what you want is up in here. What your body needs is all around here. You need to do a balancing act between these to be able to have something that's sustainable and lets you stay diced, have an athletic physique year round without giving up your social life and without giving up food that you love. Now, this is all info, but what does any of it mean? The reason why you probably don't see many pictures on this Miro board is this is just straight information. I'm giving you the entire rulebook here. I didn't want it to be vague information or me speaking about my own stories. I want to give you guys the entire framework so you can apply it into your own life. So each section actually has the real world application of how you can make this work in your own unique situation, because none of this is going to look the exact same for any of you. All of us lead different lives. We have different habits. We enjoy different things. That means you need to use this as a framework and you need to pick and choose and then implement whichever parts seem most relevant to you and are actually going to help you get to the goal that you're looking for. So, number one, this is foundational. You need to find 5 meals that tick all the boxes and run those on repeat 80% of the time. You need to make sure that you can cook these for multiple nights. Your shopping list stays simple. You don't need to think about what you buy at the shops. You buy it all the time and it becomes habitual. You know where to get it. You know what to buy. This saves you so much time, makes cooking way easier. This removes the need for decision making and it builds the foundation to allow you to enjoy the 20%. Personally, I like sticking with the same meals for weeks on end. And then whenever I get bored, I'll switch out the meal. But you need to find your own way of doing this. Another possible option is you keep it fresh. So you have one meal every single day throughout Monday to Friday, and then you reset on the weekend again. There are so many different ways you can implement this, but the foundation to it is you have 5 meals which tick all of these boxes. They have a lean protein source. They have fiber included. They are micronutrient rich, and you enjoy them all. So it's no longer a diet. You like eating that food, and that food is directly letting you also enjoy the things that you want when you do want them. The next step is plan your day of eating before it starts. You might see a common theme coming up here. I speak a lot about removing the need for decisions. Removing the need for decision making is going to make those habits stick around so much longer and make them so easy to follow because there's no longer any friction in your day. You'll hit your numbers, all the necessary numbers that you need. I don't necessarily push tracking all of your calories, but tracking your protein and fiber is something that you need to do because it's going to help the rest of the piece, the puzzle together. And it saves you from the impulsive decisions when your day begins. When you are sat in the office and someone's offering around things that you know you shouldn't be having, when you are looking to snack, when you're stressed at work and you're wanting to pick up certain things, you already have an image in your head of what your day should look like. Therefore, you've removed any decision making. You've removed the opportunity for failure because you have that image. This is no longer ruling your decisions. you know what you need to do. If you do that thing, it's going to make you feel good. And you know, if you do that thing consistently, when the time comes and you want to enjoy something, you're going to be able to. Now, I know some of you guys might not like this, but come on, you need to cook more. You need to cook more. I'm not saying you need to cook all the time, but if you are a grown man and you live off takeaways the entire week and you use time as an excuse, you come on, what are we doing here, buddy? That's not the case. You need to cook more of your food or get a meal prep company, do something like that, because most modern food is full of bullshit. It's full of processed junk, which, don't get me wrong, like I say, there's a time and place for everything. But for you to have the opportunity to enjoy that, you also need to do all of this stuff. And what that involves is actually eating well cooked food that is made from single whole ingredients, that is nutrient dense, that's high in fiber, that's got the right things in it. So, this essentially what it does is it's going to force you to make conscious decisions about what you eat, because it's no longer a phone with an order list of preset meals that are going to taste good, they're going to fill your brain with dopamine. They are just full of junk and they're so easy to order and so easy to get in the habit of ordering. Particularly when you've landed that big job, you earn decent money. It doesn't really matter to you about ordering food anymore. You can do it easily. It's just a decision away, a couple clicks away. When you do this, it actually makes you think about the food that you eat. So many people just go around mindlessly eating bullshit because it's convenient. This interrupts that convenience. You'll also learn how to make the same meal in different ways, because good food doesn't change, but flavor and texture does. Most of my meals, like I say, lean protein, complex carbohydrates, micronutrients coming from fruits and vegetables. I've now cooked those meals so many times that I've mixed them with different vegetables, added different things into it. I made different sauces, used different seasonings, mixed things around. Whether it's I've used just boiled sweet potato or fried them into chips, made loaded fries. There's endless combinations, and this is where those 5 meals turn into 15 easily, easily, because you would have cooked them so many times, and naturally you would have tried out different things and seen what you like. Now you have those same good meals, which you know are going to let you stick to the things that you need to 80% of the time. And you know so many different ways of making them, so it tastes fresh. It no longer is boring to stick to the things that are good for you. Next, you follow the rule that before cheat meals and drinks, you make sure your protein and fiber targets are hit. This separates genuine enjoyment and craving. It prevents overeating, and it's going to keep you accountable in the build-up. Like I mentioned before, we really want to focus on protein and fiber for the satiety, for how full it makes us feel. Because part of staying lean is obviously being in a calorie deficit for a period of time and then maintaining it, right? When you do go out to enjoy food, half the time why people ruin that whole experience and why it ruins their progress is because they overdo it. They overdo it. They'll get the starter, they'll get the main, they'll get the dessert, and they'll feel like they earned it. But they would have just had way too much food that they didn't even want, to be sat at the dinner table being full, on top of that drinking alcohol, and the entire experience becomes unenjoyable because you've overdone it. You've overdone it without reason, right? What this is going to do is it's going to prevent that happening, because if you've hit your protein and fiber targets, you're going to feel full enough that the decisions you make at that restaurant, at that drinks place, aren't going to be from a place of craving dopamine, of needing more, more, more. They're going to be from a position of, I actually wanted to have this food this week and I'm going to enjoy it mindfully and consciously. And it's not going to be wielded by crazy hunger because I know I've controlled the things that I needed to beforehand. A very simple way of doing this, because I'm not going to get into the technicals of micronutrients because I don't pay attention to everything exactly to detail. I don't think that's right. I think that's boring. I think that makes this whole process really mundane. Just have 2 different colors of fruit or veg with your meals. It basically simplifies the variability and then boosts your nutrients and fiber intake. It makes it so easy. Simplicity is the goal with all of this. Now, the next step, the freedom and the protocols. I always say life is too short to be skipping dessert. And, I was that guy. I'm not proud of saying it, but, I was in a long-term relationship a couple years back, and I would say no to going out for dinners with my girlfriend at the time because I genuinely thought it was going to ruin my physique. I'd consumed so much information online about whether it's seed oils, keto, processed foods. It filled my brain with so much fear that I was going to eat these and they were going to ruin everything that I worked for. And all it did was keep me stuck in that cycle of getting in shape and then losing it all, because I'm not a bodybuilder. I wanted to look good with my top off. I wanted to look good on holiday. I wanted to feel healthy. I wanted to perform well in the things that I did. That's all I wanted. But I also still enjoyed my social life. I was working a corporate job. I was going out. I wanted to go out for dinners. This whole confliction in my head, it didn't need to happen if I understood these rules, if I had these systems in place that I use with my clients today. And that's why they all get shredded and they all go out more than ever, eat out more than ever. I'm going to be talking through those same protocols now. Now, like I said, most of the time, why people fail in the long term and maintaining a lean physique for a long period of time is overly strict diets, missing out social events which they want to go to, no framework. So it's either you are working super hard or you adopt this fuck it mentality and go all out. And that's when you get into patterns of yo-yo dieting where you're in really good shape and you're just eating like shit and you're telling yourself this conversation of I'm bulking, I'm going to lock in after 4 weeks. It's winter anyway. Summer's a couple months away. I'll get sorted out by then. Do you know how draining it is going through that same process of putting on the weight and then taking it all back off, putting on the weight, taking it all back off, only feeling good and confident for a few months of the year? It doesn't need to be like that. A perfectionist mindset, no room for spontaneity. How boring is life? How boring is staying in shape when you have to follow this binary rule set in your head saying, I can't go out to this meal, I can't go out for drinks. Someone's invited you last minute to a business dinner that you really want to go to, or your friends have invited you out to an event somewhere where you want to be, a last minute holiday, and you look at yourself and you say, wow, I'm out of shape. Why did it need to be like that? I'm going to do this, but I'm going to be restrictive. I'm going to watch what I'm eating at the restaurant. It's no fun. I lived my life like that and it made me miserable because I thought I needed to. Anyway, I'm going to be talking you through all the frameworks that I used for me to be able to go out, have drinks, go out and have dinners, enjoy my life socially, whilst also maintaining an athlete's physique year round. You need to understand that dinners are not going to ruin your progress if you plan accordingly and you can eat food out without ruining your progress. Drinks, this is where most people fall because they have no framework. You need to have a framework both for your consumption and the behavior that comes afterwards. Cheat meals, these are easy to fit in and are even beneficial, and you can leverage them to your advantage when done correctly. Your diet will never feel like a diet anymore because you'll have the freedom to cheat as often as you please after knowing all of these frameworks and systems. Now, the protocols. You can apply these to dinners, drinks, and cheat meals. These work universally, but some of them you might not enjoy, so pick which ones apply to you that make the most sense to you, and then practice them and see what works for you specifically. Number one is building the bank. You have to make a deposit before you can have fun. If you just eat, don't exercise, and then you indulge, you end up being overdrawn with interest. Interest means lost progress and lost momentum. And this is that cycle that I talk about where you stay very diligent with your diet for a long period of time, and then you crash and you become overdrawn because you stop sticking to the habits that you're meant to stick to because you've made them so difficult. You've placed so much importance onto looking and feeling good and thinking that you need to do all of these extreme things to reach that. But when you do go out to enjoy, you go over the top. You might, binge eat, drink too much, have way too much food at a restaurant, and feel so bad about it after that, like I mentioned, you get that fuck it attitude where you're like, right, week's written off. I had a bad weekend, so I'm gonna, enjoy this shit for another week, and I'll lock in after. But what happens after those 7 days? You look at yourself, you're soft, training feels bad, you feel shit, your skin might start breaking out, you don't feel good. You can tell that feeling where you just feel greasy, you don't feel healthy, you don't feel good about yourself. And think about how you show up in your work like that. That damages how you interact with people because everything is a reflection of you. If you're not feeling good, how do you expect to come across as charismatic with people, as confident? It all goes so much deeper than this. But besides that, let me not get off track. Now, how do you build your bank? Your bank is obviously built through deposits. Deposits come from exercise and meal portion reduction earlier on in the day. If you know you have something planned, number one, make sure to get some exercise in that day. A personal for me is running. Running is like the highest ROI thing, personally, I think, not from just the physique perspective, but mental, everything. You save time because you're burning way more calories in a shorter period of time. You feel great after mentally. You've built your bank with a huge fucking deposit. That deposit is massive and it's so easy to get done. Wake up an hour earlier, go for a run, do the hard thing. It's going to feel difficult in the moment, But think about what it's going to let you do, how much freedom it's going to give you later on, how good you're going to feel after it. Number two, reduce carbs and fats from earlier meals in the day. Like I said, our priority is hitting our protein target every single day, because not only do we need it to retain the muscle mass, which helps us look good and helps us eat more food when we are looking good, but it's also important from a satiety perspective so that we don't overdo it when we do enjoy it. We don't need carbs and fats every single day. They are a fuel source. They are obviously come in the form of calories. We can afford to cut back some of those calories earlier on in the day, because that gives us more room to have the dinners, have the drinks, and not overdo it, not ruin our physique in the progress. Pardon me. A few ways of doing this as well. Hunger can be a thing when you are reducing your meal and portion sizes. Volume eat. So instead of having eggs with toast in the morning, you're going to have eggs and you're going to have some fruit, have an apple, have some kiwis, have some pineapple, something which is going to be lower calories, higher in fiber, higher in nutrient density. It's not going to feel like you're eating much less food, because again, you're having the protein, you're having the fiber, you're having things that fill you up for less calories. Number three, fast at the start of your day. There's no magic to fasting, right? It's a great tool, but that's what it is. It's a tool. It's not a fix. It simply reduces your eating window, which lets you eat less throughout the day, which is deposits in your bank. If you are not working out in the morning, have a coffee, sit with that morning hunger, because I promise you it's going to fade. Majority of people eat breakfast in the morning purely out of habit. And a lot of the time it's going to be cereal, just loads of refined sugar, stuff that's going to spike your insulin, your blood sugar. And then when that drops, because you're not exercising, you're not putting that energy anywhere, you're just going to end up having more cravings later on in the day. So just make some smart decisions. Use a mix of all of these so you don't put all your eggs into one basket. And suddenly you've made a huge deposit of 1,000, 1,500 calories into your bank, which you can cash in at the dinner, at the night out. You are no longer stressing because you've done everything right in the build-up. It's no longer sat in the back of your mind. You're not holding that burger. You're not holding that drink thinking, shit, I'm gonna be waking up feeling like crap tomorrow. This is gonna ruin my physique. This is gonna ruin the rest of my week. It's not gonna happen like that. The bigger the celebration, the bigger the bank has to be. This is super important. It's a proportional thing, right? And you'll learn this through time, through intuition, through practicing the thing again and again to see how proportional it needs to be. But obviously, one dinner isn't going to be as bad as a dinner and drinks and a party after, something bigger, a wedding, etc., a holiday. You need to build the bank proportional to how big the event is. Number two, remove the decisions. Again, you're seeing these themes come up again and again. People fail because things aren't pre-planned. You can pre-plan things very easily. You remove the friction to do the right thing. That's how you stick to habits in the long term. Most people are not ruined by alcohol, but by the decisions that they make after, when they are in a low impulse control state. How much easier is it to, get fast food after you've had a couple of drinks, or you've been on a night out? Because you're not thinking. In the moment, it seems very small, but the next day you feel bad for it. You feel guilty. It's going to make you feel like crap. The way you avoid that is removing decisions. So this is one of the most important points. Have a meal or plan ready for when or if you will want food after. This was one of my personal bottlenecks. After going out, I would be hungry. What does everyone do after a night out? They order takeaways, they get McDonald's, they get all this other bullshit. So think about when you've had alcohol, when you've potentially been out for dinner previously, or you might not have, and that's why you're hungry. You are just piling on high calorie, low nutrient dense food that is not good for you, on top of all the alcohol. And by the way, I have to mention this as well. Your body literally cannot burn fat whilst there is alcohol in your system. It has to take the toxins out first. So think about that. The next day, your body has all this alcohol to burn through. And on top of that, the kebab or burger and chips that you had at 1, 2 a.m. because you couldn't control your impulses. If you know that you have something that is low calorie, high in protein, nutritious, filling, tasty, because you know you'll like it, sat at home waiting, you don't need to get the fast food with everyone else, because this will replace any greasy late night calorie bombs. Simple. And most of the time when you have had a few drinks, it isn't hunger. You just need to have something before bed. And this makes it so easy. A personal favorite is, I just like making a sandwich, to be honest. Whole grain bread, it's going to have some fiber in it, some carbs, eggs, and some source of protein. Easy. That's maybe 400-500 calories. And it's going to be good for me. It's not like a perfect meal, but it's good enough that I'm going to enjoy it and it's not going to ruin my progress. It's sat waiting at home. So when someone asks me, do you want to go get McDonald's? Do you want to go get Burger King? Whatever it is, I can easily say no because I know I'm going to be home in however long. I'm going to have that meal ready. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to wake up feeling fucking amazing because I know I did the right thing and I know I enjoyed myself and I know I'm going to be able to go back to things as they should be without any friction. Number 3, we need to make smarter choices. So skipping either the starter or dessert because you don't need a 3-course meal. Maybe there's a time and a place. Obviously, weddings, stuff like that. That is, you gotta have your wits about you, right? But if you're going out, like I mentioned, half the time you're having the starter, lunch, and dessert because you've starved yourself throughout the day. You've not ate foods that will help fill you up. You're not giving your body anything it needs. So you are gonna absolutely overdo it when the time comes. Next, being conscious of drinks. A beer is 200 calories. A clear spirit with a diet mixer, 70 calories. Easy. You can have a beer. I have a beer. I have a beer or two at the start, and then I'll progress on to a clear spirit with a diet mixer. Why? Because it's going to be the same value in terms of units, and it's going to be way lower in calories. It is just a no-brainer, right? It helps so much. It's easy. Just make smarter drink choices. Have that in the back of your mind. Next, making sure that your protein and fiber targets are hit. I might sound like I'm repeating myself a lot, but I need to drill this into your guys' head because this is how you make things easy for yourself. This will stop you snacking on all the bread, all the bullshit that they bring around to you at restaurants because you don't need it. How many times waiting for your starter, you were literally sat there pasting butter onto your bread? For what? You're literally going to have a plate of calamari probably come out and a steak afterwards. Why are you eating that bread? Would you do that at home? There's no reason for it. And these exact things stop that happening. Number 4, make the most out of the meal. Cheat meals will be high in carbs. They're going to be high in calories, most likely. We cannot avoid that. We don't need to think about that either. But this is where we can leverage a cheat meal to actually benefit us. They won't be nutritious, but what they will do is they will provide the body with energy. 2 birds with 1 stone. If you plan on having a cheat meal, land it on one of your highest output days. So a big run, a big training session, something which is going to really build the bank. Because what that's going to do is when you've expended all that energy, you're going to need to refill it. That's an important part. We need to eat our carbs after our training and our protein. Likely it is, your cheat meal will probably have some sort of protein in it. It's not going to be super nutritious or filling, but we can leverage the fact that we've put in a lot of work, we've expended a lot of energy. We can refill that tank with a cheat meal. And the reason why a cheat meal is perfect is because it digests fast. It's going to be readily available energy. So we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. I hope this makes sense to you guys. You will now get to enjoy a meal you like and also refuel your body simultaneously. So there's no longer any guilt attached to it. Could the meal be better? Of course. But we're not robots. We like to enjoy our food sometimes. And this lets us enjoy that food without, from a numerical perspective, going into a huge calorie surplus, overdoing it, putting any weight on. One day of you missing out on having the perfect nutritious meal isn't going to ruin your progress. What it is going to do is it's going to make sticking to that nutritious diet the rest of the time for the entire year so much easier. And with this, you can cheat as often as you like. Obviously, don't just eat shit every single day. But if you want to, 1 month have 2 free cheat meals on the weekend, you can. On a Saturday, you go out for a huge run, you have a big sparring session, you have a big gym session, you might even have a double day if you have the time. And then guess what? You end the day on a big ass meal that you enjoy. And it's not going to ruin your progress. You're still going to stay shredded. You're still going to stay in great shape. And it doesn't feel like work. You're not dieting because you get to enjoy the food you like so often. Number 5, the next day. So cheat meal, plan a big workout for the morning and skip the pre-workout snack. Your body will be fueled up already. So when you've had the workout, or you might even have a small day the day beforehand, but you have worked out, you have the cheat meal, your body is now full of carbs. It's full of energy for you to use the next day in the morning. Don't have a pre-workout snack. Your body's muscle tanks are full. Go work out. Go use the energy. Go use that burger that you had last night to get a pump, to go for a run, to make some sort of positive progress in the right direction. It all balances out. It all lets you enjoy the things that you want to. Drinks. Hydrate aggressively and move first. When you wake up in the morning, your brain is probably going to be jumping to ordering food, doing some other shit, eating stuff that's not good for you. It's all going to pile on and your impulse control is still going to be low. You need to drink a lot of water, go out for a walk, This will settle any impulsiveness to ordering food or having some sort of cravings. Once you create that little bit of space, first thing on waking up, the first couple hours of your day, like I said, the spillover effect, you'd have started your morning by having some water, having some coffee, going for a walk, doing something active. Even if you like, this is going down the intense end, but like going for a run. Why not? Why not? Sweat it out. That's what I like to do. Makes it easy, makes me feel good. And then that spillover effect is I've gone for a run now. I drank yesterday. I know I might have had some, cheat food beforehand. Let me now continue with my good diet because I know I'm just stacking good habits that are compounding for me and letting me enjoy myself when I want to without stressing out. And then lastly, carry on as usual. Look, expect your scale weight to fluctuate. Day to day, scale weight means nothing. It can be influenced by how much salt is in our food, how much fiber we have, how many carbs we eat that day, alcohol, everything. We can have water weight swings, 1, 2, 3 kg, or I can't remember exactly in pounds for any US watchers, but you get the point, right? Trust that if you built your bank, you utilize the protocols, that as soon as your routine is back to normal, everything else stabilizes. This is the whole point of this. Trust the system and know that what you did let you enjoy without stressing and without ruining your progress. Number 5, the holiday. The holiday. This is the simplest thing that you can implement whilst you are away because the majority of my clients, they go on holiday quite often. What happens is they actually come back leaner after the holiday because they end up walking more. And we implement the system with them. They have 2 meals throughout the day, maybe a carb snack if they decide to, work out at some point. But 2 meals throughout the day, fasting in the morning because, look, if you are an all-inclusive place, just say no. Just say no or save something for later. Again, you don't need to eat mindlessly. You can enjoy yourself on holiday and you're going to actually enjoy yourself more if you look good for it. If when you take your top off, you feel confident, you feel like you're the man. This is going to help that happen. And what that does as well is if you fast in the morning, if you say no to the breakfast, the all-inclusive, what happens is dinner, you enjoy way more freely. You can have your drinks, you can get a pizza, you can do what you like. Seems simple enough, right? Next, walk places. Chances are you're probably somewhere warm. People walk a lot on holiday. They walk everywhere. That way, you are depositing to your bank consistently, making it so much easier for you to enjoy yourself again later on in the day. Lunch buffets, stuff like that, just aim for protein and fruit. Again, like I mentioned, optimizing things that are going to be nutrient dense, high in protein, higher in fiber. It's going to keep you full. It's going to make staying on lower calories without even thinking about it easier. So much easier. Dinner, go all out. Have fun. Have as much fun as you want. You are on holiday. This isn't the same as you going for a work dinner, going for dinner with your friends back home. You are on holiday. You should be able to enjoy freely. You should be able to let loose, wind down. All these steps, this system is going to let you do exactly that. Right. So, number 3, training. Now, I heard this quote a while back and I love it because it matters to me a lot personally in my own philosophy. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. You can make money at any stage in your life, but you are only going to have this much energy and the capability to look this good between the ages of 20 to 40, right? Unless you start, blasting tests or whatever. That is the reality. That is the reality, right? And so many of you, when it comes to your training, are going through the motions. You have no accountability. You do cardio that you hate. You already probably live a sedentary lifestyle because you might be in an office. You might be behind a laptop most of your day. You overcomplicate things and you prioritize the absolutely wrong things, the lowest leverage tasks at volume, focusing on keto or being in the gym for 6 days a week. Just doing shit that doesn't help you towards your goal, but you feel like you need to because someone told you on the internet that that's how things are done, right? That's not the case. I'm talking you through everything here. So, training. Number 1, guys, understand. The gym is for building muscle, not getting lean. You burn way less calories than you think in there. Go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week with intensity. Now, what do I mean by with intensity? Not what you think is failure. Actual genuine failure. The best way I can explain it to you is like you should want to make faces on your last reps. You should be really pushing yourself, really, really going for true, genuine failure because muscle building does not happen from more volume. It happens from intensity. You don't need to be living in the gym 6 days a week to have a great physique, have big muscles, look good without your top off. You need to hit 3 or 4 sessions with maximum intensity. That also doesn't mean doing 4 sets of 15 reps, 2 good sets, 1 warm-up set, 2 good sets, 8 to 12 reps. Go all out on those reps, and I promise you, you'll see way better results. You're going to actually be able to recover in between your sessions. You'll be spending way less time to still look good. It is a no-brainer. Next is splitting between something that's cardio-based. So that can be running, martial arts, cycling, something that has higher output that's going to build up your calories, burn more throughout the day, be enjoyable, have high output with clear progression. So it's going to keep you motivated, because it is, if you're not a bodybuilder, it is boring just going to the gym every single day. It's nice getting a pump, but your ego is only going to take you so far. You need to have something which you can improve at, which you can see clear progression, which is going to keep you motivated and get you doing more of that, the exact thing that keeps you lean. Running keeps you lean. Martial arts keeps you lean. Cycling keeps you lean. But guess what? It's all enjoyable as well. It doesn't feel like work because you're progressing. You're being fulfilled. You're improving at something, which as humans we need. It makes us feel good. The next bit is movement. Exercise, and this is what I mean by the gym. Exercise makes up around 10 to 20% of the calories you burn throughout the day. And this is why I put this chart in here, right? This area here, exercise. Think about how many calories this down here is you just existing, fidgeting, moving around, walking, all the simple movements from day-to-day life. Me picking my phone up here, this is where that lives. Me picking up this speaker, me even doing this, waving my arms around. This is all burning calories. This makes up such a large portion of how much we burn throughout the day. And this is all from exercise and eating food from thermic effect. We are pulling on the complete wrong levers when we are just going to the gym thinking that it's going to make us shredded. That's not the case. Because why would you focus on this small pot when you have this massive pot to build from? And it's not going to take you more time, because what I'm going to explain to you in a second is going to let you make small little decisions throughout your day, which slowly builds up this section more and more, which makes staying in shape way easier because you're burning way more throughout the day. So moving throughout the day, like I said, makes up 70 to 80%. Pull the easiest lever. Make it as easy as possible for yourself to stay lean. Walk more. Take the stairs over the elevator. I promise you guys, this all adds up. This all adds up so much. You don't see it in the background because it doesn't feel tiring. You're not sweating, but it adds up. It adds up. You can see the visual representation. That 80% just keeps growing. What is that? More freedom with food. Go out more freely. Maintain a lean physique way easier. And if you're already coupling it with the good diet decisions, making yourself feel full, eating the right foods, eating the right micronutrients, how much easier are things going to get? Because that is all running in the background. These aren't even like conscious decisions that you're making, because once you repeat them for a month, 2 months, you don't even think about it. It's no longer, I'm going to take the elevator, I'm going to take the stairs, I'm going to walk here. This is close by. I can walk here. I don't need to get a taxi. I don't need to drive. I will walk here. And most of the time, you'll find that you actually start enjoying doing that thing. The way you stay lean whilst eating a lot of food is keeping your body moving throughout the day, even if it's just steps. It all adds up in the long run. People used to walk and run everywhere. Now it's normal to sit in a chair for 8 hours, and you wonder why we can't stay in shape. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple when you put it like that, right? It's easier than you think, but you need to make conscious decisions that will eventually turn into good habits throughout your day to let yourself do that. You don't need to eat keto. You don't need to cut out carbs. You don't need to cut out your fun. Vikings used to break bread, drink beer, then go to war. And they were probably the most in shape people you could have seen, probably through the charts. And now you got, no, I'm sorry, pardon my language, but fucking idiots online just pushing all these extreme narratives that you need to do X, Y, Z to optimize your testosterone, cut out all this bullshit, cut out carbs, drink raw milk, do carnivore. It's not that hard. And I know most of you watching this video are in that position where you're willing to give up your entire social life, all the things that let you enjoy life, making memories of your friends, with people you care about, your family, for the sake of some bullshit diet and looking good. But it's fine, because I'm teaching you all of this. I'm teaching you all of this so you can apply the rules to your own life and finally build your dream physique without giving anything up. Now, the last bit is making it last. Your results don't last because you make it boring as fuck to get and stay there. Long-term results come from you actually enjoying doing the thing. The man that loves the journey will go further than the man that loves the destination. You need to love your journey, and that's what's going to make staying in shape effortless. Pardon me. Staring at a pump in the mirror, followed by 30 minutes on the Stairmaster, will not last you 365 days. Stop taking advice from bodybuilders online. Yes, They look amazing. They're great at what they do. Are you a bodybuilder? Do you care about competing? Are you trying to look absolutely shredded to the bone for a week in a year to compete? No, no. And then you wonder why you live in the gym for 6 days a week, you go on that Stairmaster, you get bored as fuck watching YouTube videos, watching Netflix, doing cardio. Of course you're going to be stuck in this cycle. Of course you're going to go back to bulking and cutting because you don't like that. You don't like that. It feels like a chore. It feels like a chore. And eventually you will get bored of the pump. But when you obsess over how you look every single day because your life is just a byproduct, your physique is just a byproduct of what you built your life to be, that's when things go simple. That's when you're motivated. That's when you wake up happy to work out because you know how it makes you feel and look, whilst also enjoying that very thing that leads to those outcomes. Start something which is going to build outside accountability for you to show up. Enter a marathon, take a fight, enter a high rocks, run clubs. There are different scales of this. I know not everyone here is going to want to fight. That's fine. Go to a martial arts gym, learn a new skill. It's going to suck at the beginning. I was so embarrassed when I was just into the gym at this stage. I looked great. I figured things out then, right? But I was still stuck in that stage of like, it was pretty boring. I was going to the gym 6 days a week. And eventually I was like, I look good. I've got the muscles. Like, I look pretty sick here, right? Eventually I felt empty because I was like, damn, like I look good, but this is getting kind of tedious. I need to switch things up, right? At that stage, I could not run 5 kilometers, 3 miles. I couldn't run without stopping. That was embarrassing. I had to lie to my friends about my time. I remember it was COVID when we were all stuck indoors, and this like Instagram challenge was going around, where people were like running a 5K and then nominating their friends. Oh, I got so much anxiety because I was like thinking to myself, oh shit, someone nominates me and I have to publicly post my time. And I'm known as this guy that's in shape, like goes to the gym, does all these good things. And I'm not even going to be able to like run, not even a good time, a reasonable time. And look, this is the first time I'm saying this publicly. So if any of my friends are watching, then fuck it. But I paused the timer and I sat there midway through the run so I could catch my breath. I was literally on my bending down, hands on knees, and just like having to stop the timer. Just because I did not want to post, not want for everyone to see how bad my time was. Because I was the guy that was so in shape, but I couldn't do this, one small task. It's difficult, but now, last summer, I ran a half marathon on 12 hours notice, on 4 hours sleep. Literally, I went out for dinner with my friend, and we had a couple drinks. Next day, he said to me, him and his friend are running half marathon. Sure. I slept for 4 hours that night on a sofa. I ran a half marathon. By the way, quite a good time. I'm actually going to try and pop in the stats somewhere on this video just to show. Off the cuff. But that's because I was willing to suck at something. I was willing to be bad to get good. And that's when it gets addictive because you see that progress and things start feeling good. You start enjoying everything. You start enjoying the things that you do. And then that's when the physique becomes effortless. It's no longer a diet. It's no longer a chore. It's no longer training. I'm doing something that I enjoy. And that's when the puzzle piece clicks together. Everything becomes easy. I keep saying everything becomes easy because that's really how it is, guys. It becomes so easy. Staying consistent is also so much easier when you look forward to the progression that you're making. It's no longer I train to get in shape. I train to improve, and I am in shape as a byproduct. Cardio is fun. Fun equals more cardio. More cardio equals more freedom with food. More freedom with food. You no longer diet because you get to enjoy the things that you like. And you also eat things that are good for you because you care about your performance. You care about how you show up to these things. Now, as always, I'm not going to just, give you all of this information without telling you how to apply it into your own life. Treat training like it is your job. It doesn't matter about volume. What matters, that's a typo, is that you show up as often as you say you would. Not 6 sessions a week, because if you know you can't commit to that, don't do it. Okay, you commit to 2, 3 sessions. At the start of your week, schedule what you're going to do, what you can realistically do, and then plan the rest of the things around that. That way you bulletproof yourself to inconsistency. It's no longer, I should have gone to the gym 6 times this week. I know I had a busy fucking week, so I planned 3 sessions this week, and I'm going to stick to those 3 sessions. And anything else that I want to do around that, whether it's social, whether it's work, I will plan around that so I don't miss the thing that is helping me stay in shape. Again, you can see this theme here, removing the decision making, making these things effortless, removing the friction. Next is movement first. Wake up slightly earlier, start your day with a walk or low intensity cardio. If this is possible for you. If it's not, if you live in a cold country, I understand it might suck. A stationary bike, do something, get a walking pad, wake up an hour earlier. You kill so much time in the morning. Why not spend it doing something productive? How many of you wake up, you scroll on your phone, you sit around doing bullshit? Wake up an hour earlier, because how much better is it going to feel? You starting your day with something that is directly positive, giving you confidence, building you a physique that you're proud of, giving you more freedom with your day afterwards, and you don't need to stress about it anymore. If you have a busy work day, it's not, I need to do something, I need to exercise. It's you have that bare minimum standard where you've done it. It's out of the way. You can focus on what you need to focus on for the rest of the day. Bridging on to next point, set a minimum standard. Not every day needs to look perfect, but every day needs to be seen. Something will always be better than nothing. And if you can show up even on your worst days, it all adds up. Usually, what I like to do and what I prescribe for most of my clients, 10K steps or run as a minimum threshold. If you want it, you'll find time and get it done. I'm sick and tired because I have clients that tell me, I don't have time. You do have time. We end up making time. It's just about prioritization and understanding how you can move things around, understanding how you can fit them in. What this is going to do for you, the 10K steps or running as a minimum threshold, is basically building your bank throughout the week. That's essentially what it is. It's basically building your bank throughout the week. It's letting you maintain that physique. Part of staying in shape year round is doing things that help you maintain it. A run is usually the go-to. Like I said, enjoy what you do. A run is clear progression. But however, not everyone has time or the energy to do that every single day. That's understandable. Get your steps in. Buy a walking pad. If you are working, reply to emails. Do any, like I say, quadrant 2 tasks, but things that don't need diligent attention but need to get done eventually. Save them. Get on a walking pad. Buy them. They're not that expensive. It's going to make things so much easier for you. It's going to save you time and also keep you shredded. Why wouldn't you do it? Enter something. This is a little bit later on. So if you've never ran before, never done a martial art, never competed in anything, this is like an end goal for you. And it's going to make all of this so much easier because it is a cheat code. And so a race, a fight, an event, it does not matter. Something that you're going to enjoy doing, something that's going to challenge you. Build a life where staying in shape is a byproduct of something you are striving for. Wealth doesn't come from chasing money. It comes from getting really good at something. If you want to have something you care about, you want to show up as your best self for it. If you are, I won't use a fight as an example because a fight camp is very intense, but a marathon, you're way more likely to get your 8 hours of sleep. You're way more likely to be on top of your supplementation. You're way more likely to be on top of your diet. It's all the spillover effect because you want to show up as your best self for this thing. And as a byproduct of that, all the habits that you do leading up to it that matter to you, that go to the forefront of your mind, are directly letting you have the physique that lets you show up as your best self. Next, train with people that are better than you. Super important. Drop your ego. If you have someone that you know goes to the gym, runs a lot, does martial arts. That's how I started martial arts. I was getting my ass kicked, like black eyes, my legs were purple. I was shit. I was shit, to be frank. But I had a friend, one of my good friends, he was an amazing kickboxer. I went to the gym with him. He was my gym partner. He was also the guy that took me to my first martial arts session. Where am I now? I live in Thailand. I fight professionally. Everyone starts somewhere, right? Go find someone who is better at something that you want to do and spend time with them. I promise you, if they are a genuine person and if they are good at what they do, they will never say no because you are taking an interest in something that they care about and you're showing that you want to care about it, and they will help you and they will fast track you and keep you accountable. And it shows that you're actually being intentional with your sessions. You're no longer going through the motions. You are actually training hard because these people already know what it means to train hard and improve at this thing, and they can show you what that feels like. If your workouts don't make you slightly nervous, they don't give you this bubbling feeling in your stomach, then you are doing them wrong. You're doing them wrong because you are going through the motions. Majority of my workouts, 80%, because obviously I have recovery runs, that's not going to make me anxious. They give me butterflies in my stomach because I know I'm going to struggle. But in that struggle, in that difficulty, is where the results are made. And I don't want to sound philosophical, but it's genuinely true. The intensity is what brings the results. Because you can have someone that goes to the gym, doesn't lift heavy, goes 6 times a week, just goes through the motions. They're not going to make any fucking progress. You will walk all over them by just going to the gym for 3 days. But when you go to the gym, you stay there for an hour and you give your fucking all. You pump the weights, you lift heavy, you push yourself, you run with intent. You don't just go out there and like fucking practically walk. You run, you challenge yourself, you're breathing heavy. All of these things add up. You need to make it a habit of working out with intent. And what working out with someone is going to do is going to keep you accountable, and it's going to show you exactly what that looks like, because your brain can easily fall. When shit gets tough, it will tell you that you're working at failure when you still have 3 more reps to go. And that person is going to tell you that you have 3 more reps to go, and you're going to do those 3 fucking reps and you're going to get the results. Right. Number 4, the last one. And I know a lot of you will probably be dealing with a lot of these things that I'm going to be speaking about here. Progress, the adaptation, the fruits of your labor happens in the 80% of the time when you're not training. So many of you are probably going through lack of sleep, caffeine addictions, no prioritization, hiding behind volume, and chronic stress. All of those things put together make that 80% of the time inefficient, difficult to happen, ruining progress. You end up putting in more work for less bang for your buck. And if we're being real, a good physique, training and nutrition mean nothing if your sleep and your recovery is shit. That's just me being honest. In terms of a hierarchy, your sleep and recovery are at the top, nutrition is next, training is at the bottom. And that's proportionally to how much they impact your progress. Sleep. Everything good that changes in our body changes when we sleep. Stress. Your recovery actually begins in your mind. You sitting on a sofa, recovering, but you are stressed out about whatever you are dealing with in your life, your body does not go into the appropriate state, the parasympathetic state, which allows it to recover if you are stressed, even if you are not moving, you are laying there, you're not doing anything. Because your brain can't tell it to, okay, relax, we need to recover, we need to rebuild. Our body is in a rest and digest state now. Diet. You have to provide your body the building blocks alongside the right conditions to build. The right conditions are made through your sleep and recovery. What is the cost of poor recovery? Like, what is actually the cost? What does it mean for you? Pardon me. Oh. Number 1, a lack of consistency. Overtraining, no energy, less enjoyment. Your ability to stay in shape relies on you showing up even when you don't want to. And that means consistency throughout the year. Not by doing more. It's by sticking to the thing that you said you'd do, even when you don't feel good about it. Right? Ignoring recovery makes that repeatability required 10 times harder. You're not going to wake up, if you haven't realized already, you're not going to wake up, you're not meant to wake up every single day going, fuck yeah, I'm going to go on this run today, I'm going to hit this gym session. That's not realistic. Motivation fizzles up and down. But in those moments, you make your life 10 times easier by prioritizing recovery, because even though you don't feel like it mentally, your body is in the best possible state for you to execute and for you to be disciplined. And this way you are bulletproofing yourself to inconsistency. Worse moods, how you show up in your relationships, work, well-being. Stress from poor recovery spills over into other areas of your life. You end up being caught in a dilemma of sacrificing peace of mind for fitness. And I was stuck in the same dilemma because I was having relationship problems. I was not seeing my friends. It was affecting me mentally because I was focusing on all the wrong things. And it bled into everywhere. It bleeds everywhere into your life. How you show up, how charismatic you are, how people respect you, how much you want to spend time with people, how happy you are. I know for a fact, some of you watching this video might not even get 7 hours of sleep. And the reason why I feel so normal is because that's become your new baseline. You have become someone who gets 7 hours of sleep and you don't even notice the difference anymore because that is your new baseline. Below 7 hours of sleep, sorry. You show up as a moody person, but you don't even notice it anymore because it's just you. You've done it for so long that it's just become a part of who you are. And whether you like it or not, people see you like that as well. They won't say it to your face, but they see you like that. Next, again, dependence on caffeine. Caffeine is a tool, but with poor recovery, it ends up becoming your baseline. Same shit. Do you drink coffee to be productive or do you drink coffee to wake up? Ask yourself that honestly. Because if you wake up in the morning and you are the type of person that says, I need to have my coffee before doing anything, you're deep in, you're not getting any benefit from it. It is now your crutch. It is now the band-aid that you put on a chronic sleeping issue, on chronic caffeine addiction. Coffee was made to be used as a tool for people to work more, people to work harder, for you to concentrate more. It actually does none of that for you. It just brings you back to how you're supposed to feel. Biomarkers, hormones, metabolic function. We can either work with our body or we work against it. Poor recovery will tip the scales on all the hormones involved in cravings, impulsiveness, low testosterone. It all starts at sleep. It all starts at sleep. I'm not going to pull out figures out of anywhere, but poor sleep is the number one deciding factor in how healthy your testosterone levels are. That is the first thing any doctor will tell you to fix. But if you do have low testosterone, that's where it starts. That is where your body produces testosterone. Your testosterone peaks in the morning. You're going to have a way lower peak and way lower baseline if your sleep is shit. Your body's fat to muscle burn ratio increases by 20 to 30% when your sleep is bad. What that means is, if you are doing all the right things, you're in a calorie deficit, you're eating protein, you're exercising, but your sleep is bad, what happens is the percentage of muscle burn compared to fat increases by 20 to 30%. So you burn 20 to 30% more muscle alongside the fat. So you could be losing weight on the scales, but you're losing fat and you're actually losing more muscle, which is just going to make you look worse at the end of your cut. And I know because I cut like 10 kg before. I expected to look lean, but this wasn't sorted out. My recovery wasn't sorted out. And all that ended up is I looked skinny fat. I lost all that weight just to look shit. I did the bulk, I did the cut, and guess what? I looked like crap afterwards. I looked horrible. Do you know how much time I wasted doing that? How much it affected my confidence? Saying no to going out for dinners, going out for drinks with my friends, living at the gym, being known as the guy that lived at the gym, and I still looked like shit. And I didn't need to if I didn't ignore this side of things. Now, mastering recovery. As I say, I'm actually going to tell you how to implement it into your life. Number one, sleep. It's the most important. It's more important than anything else on this page. Without good sleep, diet and training have a fraction of the impact that you expect them to. And some of you might notice you eat pretty good. You don't sleep well. You don't see the results you're looking for. What makes sleep good? These are the things that actually matter. 7 to 9 hours per night. No caffeine after 1 p.m. And this means, I know some of you can whack jobs, drink a coffee at 6 p.m., 8 p.m. and fall asleep. Don't do that. Because even if you might fall asleep, that doesn't mean the sleep quality is good because your brain is still active. A cold, quiet, and dark room. Earplugs, earplugs, eye mask, and fan. Or an AC. I live in Thailand, so I'm privileged. I have an AC. Keeps my room really cool. Makes me sleep like a baby. It's amazing. And earplugs and eye masks. You don't need to spend a lot of money on this stuff. It's all cheap. Makes it so much easier. Falling asleep and staying asleep. Same sleep and wake time. So your circadian rhythm. You guys have probably heard about this before. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but it is important. Your body needs to know majority of the time when you are going to wake up, when you're going to go to bed, because that's how it regulates the necessary hormones for you to feel alert when you need to, for you to wind down when you need to, for you to have a good sleep, which is directly going to impact your physique. A wind down routine. Personally for me, like I enjoy reading, but I don't read every single night. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. Some nights I do watch Netflix. I whack my blue light glasses on. I put my screen to reduce blue light. And I do watch something, but I watch something that's short. It's going to help me wind down. It's not going to stimulate me. It's not going to make me feel excited. It's going to help me get ready for bed. I sleep fine and, I feel good from it. But mixing in, not every single night. You don't need to have it perfect. You just need to have it good enough and consistently enough. Another thing, stopping eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. Because if your body is digesting whilst you sleep, your sleep quality is low because half your brain is focusing on digesting and absorbing the nutrients from your stomach, and half of it is focusing on resting. You're getting half, like you're asleep, but it's half as effective. Now, I know some of you might work out late, in which case our only job is then to minimize. We can't change things. We want to have our post-workout meal because we want to give our body the proper nutrition after we work out. Easiest thing here, make a meal. A liquid meal. What I mean by that is after your workout, your priority is some protein, some carbs, and in some nutrient depth. Protein powder, milk or Greek yogurt, some fruits and berries, maybe some oats, honey, anything you want. Just some fruits, some protein, something easy. Blend it up. Have it for after you get back. You don't need to spend time cooking. You can drink it, even drink it on the way back from wherever you are, either your run or a gym session. That's it. It's out of the way. It's easy. It's already liquid, so it's going to be so much easier to digest for your stomach. Going to make that process way quicker. Simplify it. You have no excuse now. Keeping your phone out of the bedroom. I cannot stress enough how much this has improved my own sleep and how important it is. Even if you don't go on your phone, Mentally, just your body knowing that there is no phone in your room, it's going to help you stay asleep way better. It's going to help you fall asleep way better. It's going to help you wake up better. Get one of those radio alarms or something. Go old school. I promise try it for a week, see how much impact that has on your sleep. Reducing blue light before bed. You can get yourself blue light glasses. Personally, I don't know about the studies regarding these. I am mostly a man of science. I like to look at what the data says, but I wear these. They might work. They might just be a placebo, but I wear them because if I wear them, I know I'm doing the right things. And that naturally as a placebo will make me recover better or make me sleep anyway. I do it anyway just to tick the box because it doesn't cost me anything. I found these on Amazon. Cost me £12. Super easy. Oh, obviously screens as well. They have the reduced blue light function, all that kind of stuff. It's simple. Now, practical considerations. Bad nights are going to happen, but you need to make sure that the ratio remains 90-10. If you're going to watch something before bed, like I mentioned, make it low stimulation, something which will switch you off, not leave you wanting more. Also, supplementation helps, but it doesn't fix it. So don't lean on these as a crutch, but implement them, use them. Personally, magnesium glycinate, 400 milligrams before bed, ashwagandha, the sensorial version, because it's higher in the compound that actually makes you wind down. I only take that on days where I have really intense workouts and that they're when they are late. And myo-inositol, 2 grams. That's my sleep stack. I take that before bed, helps me sleep. But don't ignore this. This is what really matters. This is going to help. Stress. How do you expect your body to recover if your mind is riddled with stress? You need to understand what good and bad stress is and how to use it to your advantage. How to maximize the good and minimize the bad. Look at sunlight or any light upon waking up. This ties into your circadian rhythm. This is going to spike your body's natural cortisol. Stress isn't just bad, it is good. It's what wakes us up in the morning, what makes us feel alert. I'm doing this in the morning because I work best in the first couple hours of my day because my cortisol is peaked. I don't feel stressed out, but I'm alert, I'm ready. This is how you maximize that. Front load your day to when you're most focused and alert. This is slightly different for everyone. Like I mentioned, I'm best in the first couple hours of my day. Yours might be slightly later, but notice when you find it easiest to focus on tasks, put all your jobs into that section, all your most important tasks anyway. Reframe stress as your body's saying it's sharp and ready to go. Reduce your screen time. Easy fix. Turn your phone to grayscale. Put limits on your apps or buy yourself one of those brick things. I don't have that personally, either putting my in a drawer or cupboard when I need to focus on work. That works perfectly fine for me because I've added friction into that. I need to actually get up, open it, grab my phone out. Also the grayscale. When your phone doesn't have any colors, you're way less likely to scroll. Go on it. Just be mindful. Don't go on your phone for the first hour of the day as well. Just leave it. Get up, go read a book. That's what I do. Grab a Kindle, read a book, read 10 pages, wake up naturally. Sit with your thoughts for a second. Actually let yourself wake up and be conscious of the things that you're thinking about. Reduce your caffeine intake. So if you have, 3 cups of coffee, make it 1 or 2. Slightly peel back how late you have it. Before 1 p.m. I spend time being intentionally lazy. This is something that I had to learn the hard way. Personally, as someone who's addicted to momentum, I love exercising. I love everything about it. I love doing more. This is something that shot me in the foot because I would feel guilty laying around and, feeling lazy, even if it was for a couple hours. That made, me exercising, me sticking to my diet, me managing my impulses so much more difficult. Intentionally lazy can look like different things for you, but make sure that it doesn't stress you out. It's low stimulation, makes you feel relaxed. That can be unique to you. I can't give you many options, but what I do personally, I actually just lie down to sit and watch some Netflix or read a book, go to the sauna, spend some time by the pool, go for walks. I love walking, which already doubles up with my movement. Listening to music. That for me is my intentional laziness time. That lets me de-stress, decompress, and it lets me stay way more consistent in the long term. Close your loops. Do not leave small tasks incomplete. You have to tidy your house. You've got small tasks to do that you haven't done yet and you needed to do them. And there's that little voice at the end of a long day saying to you, it's fine, you'll do it tomorrow. Don't do it tomorrow. Fucking do it today. You can do it today. You are capable of doing it today. You have a choice about doing it today. So do it today. Because you did it, your brain relaxes because that loop is closed. You don't need to do it anymore. The thing is you don't need to be conscious of something to know that you need to do it because your brain remembers. And when your brain remembers, it impacts how well you recover and how well you sleep. and how stressed out you are. Walk more. Like I said, walking de-stresses you. Meditate. I'm not super consistent with this, but there's so much research around meditation. Start at 5 minutes. Just spend some time with your thoughts. Notice the feeling when you stand up and sit down, when you open a door. A lot of you probably look at your phone when you're opening doors, walking around mindlessly, like scrolling. Spend some time being present. Utilize the sauna and cold plunge to regulate your nervous system. Read, practice keeping your mind present. Spend time with people you care about, because isolation will breed stress. When you don't have any social energy to expend, you need to give yourself some time to spend time with people that you care about. That will de-stress you. There's even a study where some of the best quality sleep has come from nights where a couple hours before you sit and have dinner with people that you care about. That had a marginal effect on people's sleep quality. So do it. Spend time with people. Don't feel guilty about taking some rest and spending some time being intentionally lazy. These steps will maximize your good stress and reduce your bad stress. Now, the last bit, your diet. Giving your body what it needs, the building blocks and the tools. How do we leverage diet to boost recovery? We eat after our workouts. Your body is a sponge for nutrients after exercise. Don't leave it dry. Like I mentioned to you, a cheat meal might happen after a workout. That's fine. It's not nutrient dense, but it is energy. Majority of the time, we are going to be eating good food after our workout. Like I said, the body is like a sponge. Give it something to absorb. This is what's going to let you wake up energized the next day. Don't skip it out. Don't skip out because you're lazy. Prepare in advance. Know that you need to have something afterwards. This is going to make the next day a lot easier. Fueling properly, carbs pre-workout. You're not tough for making your workouts harder. You're just putting your body under more stress. Don't get these guys like pushing keto, demonizing carbs. This is your energy. This is what lets you train hard. This is what lets you sweat more. If you're ignoring it, thinking that you're doing something difficult, thinking that you're burning more calories, all this bullshit that, fasted workouts burn more fat. That's not how it works. Newsflash, that's not how it works. You are just making your workout suck more for the sake of feeling like you're being more disciplined and burning more fat. It's not how it works, guys. Lastly, eating a nutrient-dense diet. Your body's ability to clear inflammation directly correlates to how efficient your cells are. If you're not eating a diet that is rich in micronutrients, like I've been saying this entire time, your body's capability of clearing out inflammation it's shunted, and it makes recovering way more difficult. It makes sticking to your workouts way more difficult, reduces the workout quality as well. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. We've been going for 1 hour and nearly 30 minutes. I hope you guys get value from that. Like I said, this is a framework. Pick what is most relevant to you, because not everything is going to apply to everyone. I hope this lets you get in the best shape of your life. I hope you are able to enjoy more memories, more meals that you like with this framework. And if you guys have any questions around any of this, anything that I've spoken about, feel free to drop me a message on Instagram. I will reply to everyone personally. Peace. I'll see you guys in the next video.